Hello, everybody, and welcome to the channel. I am your game master for today, the Bardic Knock. You can find me on the internet, Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube, all as the Bardic Knock. We are going to be continuing our Final Fantasy D6 game, the Rebels of Spira. I will give a brief recap of where we have been and what we have been doing once the other lovely voices introduce themselves with words and identifications of their human existence. ATB, who are you?
I am crying.
That's a mood.
Hi. I'm I'm a tired bite who every time she gets complimented, apparently that means body must shut down and cry. It's fine.
Okay, now that's a
I
fucking
promise. I am playing as Lilith the All-Bit Dark Knight, who is basically edgy mom friend. You can find me sometimes lurking around here on this channel when I got the spoons, and also every second Thursday I'm over on the Undead Case channel for Curse of Strahd Barovian Days, where I play as Lilith the ASMR Bard, who has apparently been just helping out a lot and just been getting very good rolls, so hopefully that passes on to Lilith here.
Okay, so before I move on, and this has nothing to do with how you just said it, I think it was just my ears. When you said ASMR, my brain heard ASMR. I'm like, yo, how the fuck has there not been an ASMR bard? Just there, with his mic next to him, just going. Dang.
I want that now.
I don't have a can of Coke, but how cool would that have been?
Sorry, did I show you Jazz Meat?
Did you show me what, sorry?
Jazz Meat?
Jazz Meat. Yes, I believe you did. I think you posted it in my Discord, which was really cool. I believe I looked at it and I looked and went, that's cool. And then I forgot to type anything if I did. Or I did see it and I did say that's cool. And I don't know because time eludes me. Before I allow myself
I just feel like that if Meat... I feel like if Meat were that kind of bard, he would just go right up to the mic and Meat will now soothe you with his screaming.
Somewhere out there has to be ASMR like screaming. That I think would be cool. Okay, so before I allow myself to get too distracted, Natch, who are you?
Hey, how are you? I'm Natch, Natural One. I'm playing your good red mage friend. What's his name? Malcolm. It's been a while. It's been a minute. You can find me here on the Bardic Knox Twitch channel. I'm gonna get back to my own channel pretty soon. Was feeling not so great for a while, but we're doing better again. So we're gonna try and get back into that stream game pretty soon. You can also find me on Twitter with the same handle, where I post shit posts and scream into the void about the evils of capitalism. So feel free to check me out there. Otherwise, why don't we go ahead and move on to the next individual? Thank you. Back to you, Bardic. Thanks.
Are you gonna do the whole game like that? Because I am fucking here for it.
Please do that again.
Oh.
With that, Rain, who are you?
I ain't even gonna try and top that. I'm Rain Hayes, and I'm playing Reno. Thank you. That I forgot my character's name too. I'm playing Reno Boom, who is an Onion Knight, which is a fancy way of saying I picked too many classes.
Fuck, did you just put in our goddamn Discord?
What the Natch.
Is it's either Gary Busey or the lead singer of Offspring.
Or a very very, very weird looking Trump.
I'm.
The comments do say that it is supposedly Matt Damon.
No, that is not Matt
Oh.
Damon.
Okay, no,
It's-
no one deserves to see this, but Nash has showed us an image of. I don't even. What even is that? It looks like ground beef.
It is.
Meatloaf.
It is very upsetting. Is what it is.
It's meatloaf and I don't know what the hair is made of.
Yep, so,
It does look kind
Potato?
of mushroomy to me.
yeah, so it's that in the shape of a human face. That is what I am looking at right now, and I am utterly horrified. So with that, I'm gonna take that horror and I'm gonna translate it into recap. So previously, on the Rebels of Spira, the rebels got on their boat, and with that, the boat went a sailing, and then it hit a whirlpool. Whirlpool got big. Whirlpool turned out to be a great big Dargon, a sea Dargon, a Leviathan, essentially. And the Leviathan went, "Y'all's coming with me," and they did. The crew then have woken up in a very strange, topsy-turvy, strange realm of existence, which has been revealed to be the Fey March. And what did everyone basically had collective therapy? Malcolm had a conversation with a chocobo about the nature of existence and how all things are one and one is all, essentially. Reno, what did Reno talk to the bomb about?
Explosions.
Mostly explosions. That sounds about right. And Lilith spoke to Bishonen fancy boy, like Bishonen blue-haired fancy boy. What was that conversation mostly about? My brain has just forgotten everything.
I mean, first we got an insight into Lilith's dreams we didn't want it after she mentioned like, well, I'm not dreaming because if I was, then certainly I would not be like here with two of my friends. I would be here with my actual partner and alone, and I don't know. It then turned into like a talk of something. I forget. It was like something about like time and dimensional stuff. Sorry, I got distracted because family keeps coming into my room.
There we go.
Or
So I was just replying to a question there. All right, so yeah, I believe we also ended the session with everybody arriving in one central location in this very large, very fancy-looking palace. You know what? Let's just pick up straight from there. And hello, lovely people in the chat. We were supposed to start a long time ago, but we got distracted, and then we kept talking. So you have not missed any action currently. So let's see what that action is going to be. I don't believe when you all reconvened, I don't believe we had any like interaction between one another.
No.
Sorry, I love that video. Match. One day we will not get distracted by things, but yes, it's a very, very funny video where Nigel Farage, who is just a terrible, terrible human being, like a small child, just says, "My mummy says you hate foreigners," and it's very, very funny. Anyhow, how would you all like to interact with one another after this is the first time you've seen each other since the ship crashed?
Are you all okay?
Relatively, yes. Are you okay?
I think so.
Have you been
I
drinking?
mean, given my conversation with this chocobo, I feel like I need to ask: are any of us really okay? And what does okay mean? And who are we? And wait, I'm getting off track. Oh wait, I'm also very drunk. That's right, I forgot.
Yeah, I was just about to say. Quick
Was
reminder.
that all in character? Was that all in character of Malcolm just being like, "Oh yeah, I'm super drunk"?
Yeah.
Okay, so mental note: you are definitely not okay, and you're probably gonna wake up with a huge hangover whenever you go to sleep. What time is it?
Time is a construct.
I would like to read
Okay.
that construct. I mean, so is Mecha and you don't disregard Mecha.
Time is a different sort of
Hmm.
construct.
Fancy lad, where are we?
Sorry, every time these characters interact, I have so much fun, but I get distracted and pulled in. And go, who's gonna say something silly next? So yes, you point at the, as you have described, fancy lad. Is that what you're going with?
Yes, because I do not know his name as of yet.
Yeah. Okay. So fancy lad, to do my best to recall. Tall, slender, very defined jawline, over exaggerated cheekbones, beautiful blue hair, is wearing like a deep blue gown that's open and exposes chest. The blue is kind of like a series of blues actually. It starts from like very deep, and then as it goes down, it lightens, so it's kind of got the whole spectrum of blues. It's very pretty. He is very pretty, and he will casually lift his hand up in a very, it's very graceful and very regal. Almost every action he takes, it feels very deliberate in everything he does. Very, I won't say calculated because that makes it sound sinister, but it's very much, it's trained, I suppose would be the better word.
Maybe deliberate.
There we go. Deliberate. Perfect. I swear, I think I already said that one, didn't I? And then I'm over-explaining it.
Did you? I don't know. I'm distracted too, so you know.
One day we're all gonna get tracted, and the world won't be prepared for it.
Hmm.
Sorry, what were you saying?
I don't know. I don't fucking know. So yes, lifts his hand and goes, well, you, my dear friend, are in the Famar. Specifically, this location right here is, well, it's my castle. It's the royal home of the king of the Eidolons. You have been invited here as esteemed and honored guests.
Cool. Yeah, so we're okay, so wait, are there a lot of castles in this here place?
There's no, not really. There's really just this one.
Okay, so you're the king of the dead people.
I mean, that is we're not really dead, but yes, kind of. Not really. Yes.
So really, it's more of a undead situation.
Well, we're not dead, and we have never. I guess technically we have been dead. Look, it's a very strange thing. It's all about conservation of energy. Death is not really death. Life is not really life. It's a whole big thing. I'm sure at least one of you got very drunk and had a conversation with Assistant Professor Chocobo there about this whole thing.
Yeah, we really ended up with more questions than answers, to be honest with you.
Hmm.
So the sum total of it is, don't consider it death, consider it a different form of life.
Hmm.
So it's pre and afterlife?
Yes.
Okay.
I think
Okay,
we might be
cool,
over
cool.
focusing on the wrong thing here. Instead of focusing on
Or is our concept of life actually death?
Reno raises her hand. Question:
yes.
Are we dead?
No.
Okay.
Were we dead?
At one point, probably. But recently, no.
Okay, that's good to know.
But, before
So
you
what
were...
are
Do I need to take that bottle away from you?
Before you were who you are now, you were probably dead. But also not really, because you would have been alive elsewhere. As someone or something else.
So there's no such thing as death, is what you're telling me.
Pretty much, yes.
Okay, so what you're saying is it really doesn't matter if the giant space whale kills everything because nothing can actually die?
No. No,
I don't think that's
Because
what
that's
I
what
don't
I'm
think
hearing.
means.
No.
Malcolm, the giant space will still big danger.
Okay.
Right, but we can't die.
No, yes.
God.
This is why you are here. There's a little circle of his hands and points directly down. So, you are clearly familiar with the concept of sin. Both the concept and the literal giant whale.
I'll say I'm...
I
Yeah, you could say I know my way around some sin.
I have been married for 10 years, so take that what you will.
The one thing you may have noticed is, despite giving a rather grandiose claim, it's not even a claim, it is fact, talking about how all energy perpetually in conversion and yada yada yada. You might have noticed there doesn't appear to be an exuberant number of residents here in the Famar. That's there. You haven't seen nearly as many people as you would have seen, say, in any one of your regular towns or villages or cities. Especially considering this is a whole kingdom of where literally everybody who is not currently in your realm of reality exists in some way, shape, or form. You would expect it to be, a lot bigger, correct?
I mean, now that you mention it, I was just sort of assuming this was just one small part in a ever-expanding continent of places where people would just be congregated.
See, that's what it should be. However, the rather large, scary whale seems to have a penchant for not releasing the energies, not releasing the spirits and the souls and energy of those destroyed. They become one with it, they grow with it. So, if anything, in a reality where death does not, yes, you die, but it is not the ultimate end goal. Essence continues on and you provide more life elsewhere. Sin ceases that cycle. That is something you very much should be afraid of.
Okay, so death did not exist before sin?
it existed, but only in the literal sense of the vessel or the energy ceased to exist, but then that energy went and became something else. Sin stops that. So if you want to start calling that death, then yes. That
And then
death.
and then every so often, one of Sin's children needs to be born and go on a pilgrimage, which leads to them sacrificing themselves to save the souls of the people who are impacted by this what do you call original sin?
Well, they're not
Oh my
Sin's
God.
children, but yes, essentially every generation, every however long, someone goes to stop to sin as best they can. But sadly, it is not really.
Why are you creating Christianity?
I am certainly not creating Christianity. This is please do not tie me
I
to
think
that.
Malcolm is trying to
nonsense.
create Christianity.
You know, I wasn't thinking about that, but that is, for whatever reason, I feel like that's a real snappy name for this concept.
Oh my god.
Listen, we have an entire section of our library at the university dedicated to exactly why this is a bad idea.
Wait, Christianity or all religions?
Depends on which part of the library you're in.
It
Hey,
depends.
hey, Raiko, how do you feel about being a Christ-like figure?
No,
No.
I don't know this Christ person, but you know, I just want to help people.
I think I've had a class back at my university about why that is also a bad idea. For someone to be a Christ-like person.
I don't see how anything could possibly go wrong with this whole situation. It seems pretty straightforward. And it's just a message that people should like love each other rather than falling to the anger of sin. Like, how could anyone possibly misinterpret that?
That is the quickest way to start wars.
That doesn't sound right. I guess we'll have to agree to disagree.
At what point does someone just want to like look at Malcolm and go, Church of Yevon, dude? They're doing it.
It's not going to be Reno, because Reno still doesn't understand the Church of Yevon.
Sorry, I went on a tangent. I'm
We
intoxicated.
literally
Yes.
just had a long moment of who's going to tell him.
So with that,
Anyway, okay, so we are here to learn about the fact that sin death is real death. And so a couple follow-up questions. One, just real quick, who are you? And two, what are we supposed to do with this information?
well, wonderful. I, as I previously stated, am king of the same arch. They had to be given a name. You would most likely call me Leviathan.
Oh. Okay, this opens like an entire can of worms. So please answer the second question before we go there.
Yes, please. So
Do you want me to ask my can of worm questions, or like?
What was the second question?
Oh, the second question is like, now that we know that sin death is different death, and everybody, sin is pretty much munching on souls. Like, what are we supposed to do with that? Like, we knew sin was bad, but like,
Well,
do you have like a special MacGuffin or something that we can just like take with us?
not per se. The issue thus far seems to be that the only way that people have found to defeat sin is some ultimate big sacrifice, and ultimately, it's a never-ending cycle of becoming sin to defeat sin. It's fundamentally just doesn't really work, does it? And that is because of the energy source in which people are using to defeat sin. It's an inherently flawed system. Don't get me wrong, it's poignant. One could argue there is poetry in martyrdom. However, martyrdom has to be successful for said poetry to have meaning. Otherwise, it's just sacrifice for the sake of sacrifice. It sounds not. Well, it doesn't just sound not very. It ultimately rather ineffective. So the reason I have chosen you to convene with is clearly you seem to be rather unconventional in your approach to everything thus far. Bismarck and Valifor and Ifrit have spoken, and they are very impressed with your unconventional nature.
Dave. Wait, are they like here? Like
Yes.
all of the summons? Oh.
Well, they are not physically here, but I have the ability to commune with. They are Eidolons. They have purposefully kept themselves within the material realm, but I can still commune and essentially getting like little messages here and there. Quite nice. Bismarck sends hilarious memes.
I did.
Reno was suddenly very nervous.
Everyone is just pausing like, wait, Bismarck still sends memes?
Yeah, I mean, like, the
That-
jokes are pretty funny, but then he just really leans into them, and it's hysterical.
So the thing is, most of Bismarck's memes, they're not really memes. They're just a picture of a whale, and it's saying things like, whale hi there. Or whale, 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 what have we got here? Like, he's really...
It's just whale pun.
It is nothing but whale puns. And
I've only gotten to whale puns. So many whale puns.
okay, so Leviathan is basically saying, hey, because you are saying fuck all these rules, hopefully maybe you can have some kind of alternate approach. So I was hoping to talk to you and maybe help you in some way, shape, or form.
Okay. They have any ideas? Like, just let's start spitballing. No idea is a bad idea.
Yeah, I mean, the only idea we had was the possible weapon thing that we found in the ruins. Although, don't know where that is, or even if it's still in operation.
Well, see how a giant weapon some utility. Well, I did have this one idea. I don't know if it'd be
For
effective.
the people watching at home, there was a massive pause in our thinking because we had to understand a joke that we didn't understand.
Oh. Oh my god. Yep, I've just seen that. God damn it, Natch. See, I was doing so
it's
well.
fine. It's fine.
I was doing so well at not getting distracted by just not looking at Discord. I just put the map up instead, and I was doing so well at being distracted until I realized, oh shoot, I missed out on the explanation. Ark.
Fine. My brain is just too wrinkly today.
That's good. You want wrinkle brain. Like, smooth brain bad, wrinkle brain good. That's where all the smarts are kept.
Unless you have too many wrinkles and you can't concentrate on anything. Anyway, no, we're getting distracted. Back to the game.
Yeah. So
yes, big weapon.
It could be a possibility, so it's definitely something to look into. Now, an idea I don't know if it'd be a good idea, but what if? Now, hear me on. What if I took a person who existed 1,000 years ago and then changed them ever so slightly because they weren't actually going to be that person. Instead, it was going to be the recollection of this person from a perspective of the faith created when an entire city died. And then we take that recollection and we manifest it into the physical reality. And then we use that to go and beat up, to beat up Sin, using all of his pent-up daddy issues as the fuel that motivates that.
How the
I definitely get it. But just in case, can you repeat all of that again? Because I don't understand.
I mean, I like the enthusiasm. You seem like you're confident this will work, but also, how does the daddy issues help in fighting sin? Like,
does our hero need? Does our savior need therapy?
Sorry, I just
is
need to
Sin the
clown.
father?
I just need to clown on how ludicrous the actual plot of Final Fantasy X is when you break it down. Look, I love Final Fantasy X, but when you try and explain it to someone, you go, okay, so this person, but not a real person, it's like a ghost. It's like a memory of a bunch of ghosts has to go beat up his giant daddy whale. Everyone goes, the fuck is this game?
I mean, that's been my every experience with a Final Fantasy game.
Yeah, I mean that's pretty par for the course, to be honest.
I mean, aside from like one, I don't think there's any daddy issues there.
No, but it doesn't really explain anything either.
Okay, so
Yeah, fair.
here's the thing. In the subtext and subsequently cut content from one, which gets explained in one of the Dissidia games, there is a shitload of daddy issues. Because you know Garland, aka the first boss and also Chaos? Garland is not a real person. Garland was essentially a manifested construct designed for war. And guess what? Garland has a bunch of fucking daddy issues.
Oh shit!
Like, it's wild. So, yeah, nope. I'm fairly certain every single Final Fantasy game is just daddy issues the game.
But totally not
pretty
this
much.
one.
Okay, so where do we come in then? Like in terms of the creation of strange ghost memory, but not quite boy. And then do we just like deliver the ghost boy to the whale daddy and then say good luck?
Do we even know if the whale is a father?
Well, you know.
Oh, that's true. It could be a mommy.
It could very well be.
Or themmy.
Or, yeah.
This is very true. In reality, my idea, it's kind of a spitball. There's a whole bunch of things that would need to come into play for it to occur. I might keep that one on the drawing board. It is a work in progress. It's a big whip.
Yeah. Plus, also, it's running on the assumption that Sin had a child.
Well, see, this is also a
And then
thing.
abandoned.
Unfortunately, for the plan to work, is I need to try it once and fail, and the first person who comes needs to become Sin, so that then the second one can come and beat up. It's a whole thing, and
So that you know stuff about the Sin to, like, okay, no, I get it. I get why. Still seems a little convoluted, and really by that point, won't we all be dead? Oh,
Probably.
except we can't die unless we do die.
Yeah. So I'm gonna put a pin in that one, and
Yeah, no, that seems like a good plan B. We got a plan B there.
we do. So we'll work on that. So
okay, quick question. I do have a quick question. So you're essentially king of the far plane, right? Like an entire plane of existence.
Correct.
Why can't you just kill Sin? Like, aren't you more powerful than him? You would have to be king of an entire plane.
You'd think so.
I mean, like,
But also,
you tell me it's just because you're lazy. I swear to God, or I swear to Yevon.
But before I answer, I believe I believe Lilith wanted to say words before I answer.
I mean, I was just going to say, just because he is a king, that doesn't necessarily mean like he is more powerful than Sin. No offense. Like, it could just be a thing of even he doesn't have enough power.
So, I mean, first of all, no offense taken, but second of all, at that point, Bashon and Leviathan kind of like pulls his shirt back a little bit and tenses, like shows off like his muscles, and I could totally kick Sin's ass.
Yeah, no, we get it. You're hot. Moving on.
The downside, however, is as an Eidolon or as an Aeon, Esper, or whatever we are currently being referred to as, Sin directly feeds on us. So you have a vague understanding of how summoners in the past have defeated Sin, correct?
They go to the
I'm new
ruins
here.
of Zanarkand. They do secret stuff, and then they don't come back. And then the high summoners are like, "Yep, this person's dead, and Sin is dead." And then there's like a party for 3 days.
That sounds vaguely correct, but where the part that is missing, the secret part, is in Zanarkand. There is a broken faith, and that faith was created by the first High Summoner, Leska. And what happened is when her love, her husband, her partner, Lord Zaon, offered his life to become her Aeon, created this faith, and she poured every ounce of energy she had into that. And in doing so, she created the final Aeon, the most powerful being known in existence. Now, Sin was defeated by this. And then Sin ate the final Aeon and that final Aeon became the new Sin. Sin becomes one with the energies of Aeons, of Eidolons, of souls and spirits. It's how Sin devours them. So every time a summoner reaches Zanarkand, do the same. They pour every ounce of their life essence into this broken faith, and usually, or not usually, always, a loved one, a friend, a husband, a wife, a partner, a child, a mother, a father, a whoever offers all of their life to become the final Aeon, and then Sin takes that over. So whilst, yes, I could totally come up onto the material realm of existence in my big daddy Leviathan form and smack down with Sin, I would then become Sin. or sin would become me, I suppose, is a better point. And that's not good. This is also why it is a very dangerous thing, because every time the final Aeon to defeat Sin has to be more powerful, and every time Sin becomes more powerful.
Okay. Follow-up question.
Yes.
Is Sin is just like made up of soul energy, right? Like the what we might call fireflies. Like he's made of that, right?
We're all made of this, yes. But Sin is more of it.
Yes. Okay. Yeah, no, I got it. Okay. Stay with me. Sorry. And as Lord of this realm, you can, I'm assuming, manipulate that energy to reflect your will, correct? Like all of this is because you willed it, and because that soul energy was turned into something to reflect your will, correct?
You're not.
Do you see where I'm going with this? Okay, so why don't you just will the fireflies that create Sin to be created into something else?
Good point. Good question. Have a gold star. Now,
Yay!
The issue is the core, the effervescent, eternal entity of Sin corrupts the fireflies it consumes. You know, when an Aeon, an Eidolon, an Ember, whatever, gets taken over by Sin, they are unable to be commanded. You know, as a summoner, as anyone who has summoned an Aeon or Eidolon, you are doing that. You are controlling the fireflies. You are manipulating the energy of souls of the universe, usually into, you know, giant whales with a gun, or really sexy, hot demon dog men things. You know, it's very impressive. However, Sin corrupts that and makes it.
Sorry, I was just gonna say that seems awfully specific.
Look, Ibrit's hot. No one's denying.
Oh, right. Okay, no, yeah. Sorry. I forgot about him. Sorry, buddy.
No one is denying Ibrit's hot. But yes, the corruption of Sin is why, you know, I can't just go and now you're a bunny, for example. Sin's corruption level is probably on par with my level, if not greater than my level to control or manipulate, as it is on par, if not greater, than the level of a Grand High Summoner who can summon giant dragons. Sin's corruption is more potent, essentially.
Okay, so okay, here's another idea. And remember, we're brainstorming here, so there's no bad ideas. What if, and roll with me on this, we how do I want to put this? Lure Sin into the far plane and have you will into existence a giant weapon that we can use to just defeat Sin once and for all. And then after the large form of Sin is defeated, that's where we come in and we just beat the shit out of the little shit that is controlling the core of it.
Once again, not a terrible idea.
No bad ideas. No bad ideas.
Not at all. Theoretically, very clever, very genius. However, slight flaw, and it's really more of an unmeasured thing, which is where the issue could arise. If that corruption that feeds on the soul energy, that grows with it, that consumes it, is brought into this realm where that energy resides in its pure form, would that not offer the opportunity for that being to consume all of it We're taking it directly to the source of its power.
Yeah, that would.
And once again,
So
I'm not saying
it's
it
the
couldn't
core.
work. Merely presenting.
It's the core part of sin. It's the core part of sin that is the corrupting aspect, right?
Correct.
So what if we just blew off chunks of sin, formed sendings on those chunks to be purified here, until we got to the core chunk that was dramatically weakened by not having these other bits?
Ooh, I like that idea.
So, what I'm hearing is this could work. I think it could work very well. You got some kind of boat, but it could like fly. Yeah, let's call it a flying ship, an airship. And you just,
That's a silly name.
that
We'll
is-
workshop it.
We'll workshop. So if you just then took this airship and you just like flew it up near to where Sin was, and you just like, I don't know, got like 3 people in a line and just beat the shit out of Sin. Just like slapped it until like its arm fell off. Then you go to the other side and do the same. And then you like jump down and just beat the shit out of its face a little bit until you can get inside of Sin and destroy it from the inside.
Hmm.
I mean, I can make all kinds of explosions.
Honestly, it sounds silly, but I think it could work.
Hmm.
And
There's,
can we still have
there-
giant Firefly made weapons?
Well,
You really want the Firefly made weapons?
I
don't
do.
you?
I do want the Firefly weapons.
I couldn't make them giant because they wouldn't really be able to exist too long out of this existence. What I could do is I could use whatever powers I have to help you become stronger now, to go out into the material realm to allow you to pursue these things. You mentioned something about a giant powerful weapon in the material realm that you could maybe do something with.
It's like we know coordinates to possibly where it is. We don't exactly know. We don't exactly know if it's there, and it possibly corrupt members of the Church of Yevon are looking for it as well.
It's fairly theoretical at this point.
All things are theoretical until they're not. Gravity is a theory.
Yes, but it's a proven theory.
Then you go prove the weapon theory. I'm not a scientist.
This would be
got
so
me
much
there.
easier if I could just go to my university and look for a map or look for some blueprints. It's got to be something
Wait
in the
a
library.
second. Hold on. Wait, I just had an idea.
Mhm.
So, Leviathan. The far plane is all-encompassing, correct?
In a manner
Like-
of speaking, yes.
Like in a manner of speaking, like in terms of the size of the far plane, it is both infinite and all here at once at the same time. Is that not fairly accurate? Or am I just really drunk?
I mean, these things do not have
Yes.
to
Or
be
both.
exclusive, but the
Yeah. Okay.
theoretical limit of the far plane is infinite. However,
Okay.
over the
Oh.
literal 1,000+ years of soul energy being siphoned off of this perpetual plane of existence, as in it not returning because Sin has been munching down. Whilst no, we have not set a hard limit on where it is currently, we do know that the power is lessening, so we have no way of knowing exactly how far it could be extended, if need be. It's theoretically infinite.
Okay, but like theoretically, you could get us to a section of the far plane that, I don't know, could attach to Reno's university?
Oh yeah, can do that. Probably.
Theoretically, of course.
Theoretically.
Oh, there you go.
Thankfully, my university is everywhere just as much as the far plane.
Yeah, it's a bit
yeah.
fiddly, but we could definitely do something about it. Even if not immediately right now. You know, if I've got it. It can be done. That's all I'm saying. It can be done. It'll just take a little bit of fiddling.
So what I'm hearing is that's a side quest for later.
We could call it that.
Okay.
Or it'll happen when we find.
Sorry, this
that's
alcohol
not-
has got me just. This alcohol has just got me super meta today for some reason. I don't know what's going on. My bad. I'll shut up.
It's the chocobo. Chocobos have that kind of influence.
That's true.
There's still something bothering me a bit. I'll have to admit. Like, it's more of a personal thing, though.
Mhm.
So, when you mentioned the final Aeon, someone is turned into sin. That's like a constant. It's every time a summoner goes, someone else also dies alongside him, technically, to become sin.
Yes. That is a unavoidable due to a process. So here's actually it depends on how you want to look at it. You know, if you want to be glass half full, half empty. They don't die. They just become sin. So they continue to exist until the next sin comes. So they're not the sin who is currently stomping around. They are the previous final Aeon. So they're still alive, just trapped inside a corrupting giant mess of bile, hatred, and destruction.
So, as an example, a high summoner with 3 guardians goes to fight Sin. That summoner doesn't come back, obviously. And only 2 of the guardians come back from the old Sinarchan ruins.
In a best case scenario, yes, 2 come back.
Does that mean that 100% the one guardian that doesn't come back is now Sin?
I mean, I would say it's a 99.9% chance. I mean, there's every likelihood that they did not get used for the final Aeon, and instead, I don't know, like a small monkey was used as the final Aeon source. But I highly doubt that someone would have a deep emotional connection to a small passing by monkey. But that is a possibility,
you never know.
theoretically. But, 99.9% chance the Guardian who does not return is probably Sin.
Lilith, it just kind of goes just the part of their face that is not covered goes pale, and she just kind of says, I think I have a feeling of who is Sin right now.
Oh. You do?
10 years ago, my mother was chosen to be a guardian for one of the summoners. Old friend sort of situation. They needed help. She offered it. She kept us, the family, updated up to the Zanarkhan ruins. Months passed. Sin was destroyed. The summoner never came back. And neither did my mother. The other 2 guardians came back, though. So either something happened, she died during the journey, and Lilith just kind of points up in the air or currently, she was this final Aeon now giant destruction causing
I'm very sorry. If I may ask, is that what sort of brought you to coming here to try and find her?
was a part of it. Was a mix of knowing Raiko and didn't wanting them to go off alone. Another part of just not liking the fact that we didn't even get a body back. The current mask that I'm wearing right now was hers.
Ah.
That's what we got. They gave us this, said they were sorry, the remaining guardians, and they left. Where they are at the moment now, I have no idea.
Well, that is really heavy, and that's a lot to have carried this long without letting someone else share that burden. But I'm glad that we can at least help a little bit. Whether you want us to or not, you really don't have a choice here.
Again, it's more of like Leviathan said, it's a 99.9% chance. So, I feel like possibly it would be good to just let you know,
So while we're here, do you have any qualms about? Oh gosh, how do I put this in a really nice way? Do you have any qualms with ensuring that the creature that is using your mother as emotional soul energy does not cause any more havoc, which may or may not include harming your mother's spirit?
honestly, right now, I think I want whatever the hell you've been drinking this whole time.
There's a bottle behind his back.
That's mine. Ask Professor Chocobo.
Give me the bottle, Malcolm.
Absolutely not. I will get the delirium tremens if I don't drink.
Professor Chocobo, give Professor Chocobo. I need alcohol right now.
Is they okay with me? What? This actual
All
ball.
right, great. The comic relief is here. Okay, well, I guess you don't have to answer the question right now, but if I can offer two things, one of them is that if we need to, how do I put this? All of us are working together, and so it's not fully on your shoulders. And also, I think maybe we should step away from saying like the person who's used in the final summoning becomes Sin, because I don't really think that's fully accurate. I think Sin is just using them as sort of a battery. And so it's not like the person who was used in the final summoning is now doing these heinous acts. It's that they're being used as a soul battery. So it's not your mom. Your mom's not a bad person. Soul battery. And also one other thing is, I mean, I'm definitely planning on like sacrificing myself, to take down Sin. So you don't gotta worry about that. So yeah. That's. I guess that's three things. Was it three? I don't remember.
Yeah,
Meanwhile,
I
Lilith
have.
is just slowly just drinking.
Reno's just gonna off to one side with the bomb. I don't have any grand revelations. I just do research.
The bomb gives like a nod, and I'm like, oh, okay. Not everyone has to have a grand revelation at the same time. It happens when it happens. And you know, just make sure your friends are doing all right. That's my advice. What do I?
Hey, are you two doing okay?
Yeah, no, I'm great. I when we started this and the plan was we're gonna take Raiko. By the way, Raiko, how are you doing? When the plan was to take Raiko, because you are also gonna die. That's like the non-negotiable. But anyway, when we started this whole thing, like I was fully under the impression that I was going to die because I've been living on borrowed time since oh gosh, everyone I've ever known and loved has died. So yeah, I'm here for it.
I just love the really casual into hey Raiko, you doing all right? I mean, you were gonna die. That's fine. Oh, sorry, that just needed. Okay, so Raiko's reaction to everything. Raiko was very aware of the sacrifice. However, I don't think they were ever fully aware that someone else had to sacrifice along with them. Raiko is very happy to sacrifice themselves. But
Yeah.
the idea of
Like
someone
I don't think like it's ever.
Yeah, sorry, after you.
I was just gonna say I don't think like in terms of like. I'm pretty sure Raiko's like thinking was the same as like basically everyone else's of Summoner goes to Old Zanarkand ruins, secret stuff happens, Summoner doesn't come back, and Sin is dead.
And so Raiko is taking this information. They go, okay. So I think we need to find a way to just stop this whole cycle, because one, I know, honestly, my grand ambition was to create an eternal path. You know, I know that's what every summoner wants to do. Every bright-eyed, bushy-tailed young person comes out of summoning school like, I'm gonna change the world. But like, no, I genuinely wanted to, and if that meant I would sacrifice everything, then I would be okay with that. But the idea that someone else has to sacrifice along with me, on one hand, yes, I get it. You know, it's a metaphorical and very physical embodiment of we share the struggle together, and therefore it's a collective effort, which is in of itself poetic, and you know, I would argue a good way for society in general to progress. Working together is not all on a few individuals; it's on everyone. But no, I'm not okay with sacrificing a friend. Which, yes, I am also very aware is very hypothetical, that whilst I'm not okay with it, I would have to make all of my friends okay with it for me to do it. So I think there's also an inherent flaw in that. So, first of all, Lil, I'm very sorry for your loss. I'm sorry that you've been carrying that. Malcolm, if you sacrifice yourself, so help me.
What?
I don't want to say yeah.
What are you?
But so help me. Universe.
Anton?
So help me, Tauntaun. I will seek you out, and I will bring your ass back, so I can tell you off.
Language kid.
I just want to note that as you say this, I'm working on a job for necromancer.
Oh. So, yeah, I think we need to find a weapon, and I think we can get inside Sin. I think that's the plan, because if it's the core that's the problem, but I don't know if anyone knows this, or we're kind of badass. We beat up a giant worm, like, with our weapons and stuff.
We could kill gods.
Come on, if it's,
Lilith says, like already having a third bottle.
if it's just a
Ooh,
core,
you may want to like slow down on that girl.
I think we could kill gods. So I think we should do that. I'm on team giant weapon.
I mean, yeah, I'm fine with that, but I'm also a realist, and so if it comes to needing a sacrifice, I'm going to sacrifice myself. And Raiko, I love you. You are a wonderful person, but you don't get to tell me whether or not I get to sacrifice myself.
Okay, we can make a deal. We can make that plan C after Pretty Boy's Ghost Memory Boy plan is B. Okay?
Okay, I feel like if now that everything is on table, I think Pretty Boy Ghost Boy should probably be C, because that's gonna take at least a cycle or two to make happen. And so like my sacrifice. Okay, wait, hold on. If that's gonna take a cycle, then there's gonna need to be a sacrifice anyway for us, and then it's gonna be the next round of summoners that are going to be able to take Ghost Boy to Space Whale.
Okay.
Also, hold on. We don't need a Ghost Boy. We have a real girl.
Where? Ghost girl? What?
Malcolm just looks at Lilith.
Leviathan kind of pauses and goes,
Thanks.
hey, wait. Yes. Lilith, do you have any unresolved mommy issues?
Well, when I was like 5, I woke up in the middle of the night to eat cookies, and then I was grounded for a week.
Not quite as potent as I'd like, but do you believe that you could harness this into enough strength to destroy a giant godlike entity?
I mean, in retrospect, it was kind of like, oh no, I don't think that's enough. The Dark Knight tenets are kind of more like you harness the darkness in you, because everyone has darkness in them. It's just a matter of accepting you are not perfect. Oh, and also attacking the throne god. That is a hidden tenet, not that you don't talk about much. Does not talk about much.
If I can just step in for 1 second, like not to put words in your mouth, Lilith, at all, but like, I would. Do you think maybe Mom leaving 10 years ago and then not coming back with the implication that she died and then not getting any actual answers about where she's been for the past 10 years, do you think maybe that's got some emotional baggage for you there? Maybe a little bit? Just a hair?
Yeah, I can see that. Kind of
Okay,
A lot of emotional baggage for everyone in my family, so
Yeah, no, that makes sense. Yeah.
Leviathan very sincerely, very seriously is just nodding along. Yes, I believe this is the right amount of emotional baggage we can do this. We can definitely weaponize that. So, what? Yes, I think this is the plan. So, okay. This is good. Very good. Wonderful. No, I think we have a collection of plans. Obviously, I don't have to be directly involved in doing. But before I drop you off and you can continue going on buying a weapon, obviously, well, first of all, feel free to call upon me. However, and whenever you need me to, I will give you a token of my gratitude and all of that, so you can make use of my powers. Will also do whatever else I can. Fun fact. You know, time doesn't flow the same here in the Feymark. So every
Don't?
no, it's much slower, but it's much quicker here. So all this time, like you could spend like 10 years here, and that's maybe a month out there. Well, not 10 years. Literally, I'd have to.
Time was an illusion.
I'd have to double check exactly, but it's a decent amount. A month or so, a week out there is it's at least a year or two here. So if you wanted to use that time to train and get stronger, maybe level up or improve your gear, we could totally do that. I'm not above a hyperbolic time chamber.
I'm honestly just mildly concerned about us going back right now with me being the only sober one.
Well, you don't have to go back right now. We can have some time.
I'm actually pretty sober.
I mean, we also have the deal of we stole a boat. We might be wanted criminals now.
That boat's gone.
Oh?
So
yeah,
we can get you a new boat.
It's in several different pieces.
Can we still burn those pieces?
We could just leave them here.
I have goblin bombs.
Would it be cathartic enough? Yes.
Counterpoint. What if we turned them into a bonfire and had a beach episode around the bonfire? Or at least, a beach cutscene where it shows us all around the bonfire as the sun sets and we all go, yes.
I like the idea.
Yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Will there be grilled meat?
There most certainly is now. Okay. So, with that, I believe we can take a brief transition scene to where there'll be like a bonfire and all that. We can take like a quick 5-minute break before coming back and wrapping everything up, because I think what we'll do for the second part of this is just kind of discuss if we want to have like a mini training arc, which we totally can do because of how time works with Feymarch. So, get new gear, level up, have some character design tweaks and alterations, get a new haircut, stuff like that. Because that's very important to character development, right?
Mm-hmm.
Alright, cool. So I will throw us on over to a break screen, and we'll come back and we'll get to have a fun little discussion about how our characters are going to evolve and tweak and change ever so slightly. So I will throw us on over there, and we'll be right back. See you real soon.
Yay.
And that's a weird way to say and. We are back. So, what I literally just said this off stream, and I'll say it again on stream. What we are going to do is to wrap off today's session. Is we're going to have a brief discussion on, boring, unimpressive mechanical mumbo jumbo, such as power-ups and so on and so forth, and then a very good and interesting discussion on aesthetic changes that are going to happen in this. It's just, it is essentially like a little time skip that we're doing, but it's really just a power up. So an amount of time is going to pass in the Fey March, as much time as we wish to pass. So whether that be, a couple of months. Bear in mind, this will translate to, a few days in the material realm. So nothing really will change. It's not like, oh god, you've been gone so long. The Church of Yevon have turned themselves into, a giant robot worshipping cult or something. No, like literally, like nothing else will be different, except you'll be stronger, more powerful, and probably have a different haircut because we need to sell more action figures. I mean, yes. So with that, this is not dull or unimpressed. It's actually very fun and interesting, but mechanically type stuff. What new equipment do people want? I think what we will do is all of the equipment that you currently possess. Actually, wait, Rain, you're the overpowered one. What tier is your weapon?
Let's see.
Wasn't it like 6?
Go down to my gun. Equipment, gunblade, tier 4.
Okay, so what we will do is everyone can go up to a tier 5 weapon. So oh gosh, where's my notes?
God.
Got him somewhere. That one. Cool.
I already have 3 open slots on it that I haven't used yet.
So I forgot that you couldn't get all the upgrades for it, could you? But we, yeah. You know what? I very much enjoy making people overpowered, because this is also how I play Final Fantasy games. I get to the point where, and this is a good point to grind. You go, I'm going to abuse this. So that's essentially what we're doing. We are abusing a grinding spot. So we're gonna get hella overpowered. So if wherever got everything, looking for things, finding stuff. Like for example, it's a tier 5 weapon. Okay, so a tier 5 weapon can have like 3 properties. That's alright. So, Rain, I believe is a person who probably has like the firmest grasp of the mechanics, because I know you spent a lot of time fiddling with them. Do you know what your tier 5 weapon will be, and what it looks like, and what properties it will have?
Well, I'm actually going to look at that for a moment, because it was a long time ago that I modified my gunblade.
That is absolutely fine. If people would like, whilst we're going through stuff, I can vamp and just start reading out interesting, cool properties that weapons can have. So I go, ooh, that's cool. That's cool. I like that. So, where are those?
So it's 3
Yeah.
that you said?
Yeah, it can have 3 properties. Now, I need to remind myself. One sec. My brain is just doing a bit of a dingus, so give me one moment. Boop. Okay, yeah. So I believe how it works is it can have 3 properties, but obviously one of those properties has to be the weapon type. So, for example, oh god, brain.
Except for mine.
Except
because mine Yeah.
I think everybody ended up going for like Gemini type stuff, didn't they? So,
Yeah.
but Gemini is also in of itself quite interesting, especially is it tier 6 one you get where it can like transform in between the two?
I
so.
can actually look that up because I'm on that page. Let's see. I'm on that set of pages because this is big. Gemini. Tier 2, 4, so I'm guessing it's at 4 that they can switch.
Yeah, that would make sense. So yeah, so if you wanted to maintain the Gemini things, then technically it's like having 2 weapons. Except they both have the Gemini property. And that kind of lets you go hoo-ha, hoo-ha. So that would also be a thing. So for example, let's just say the Gunblade. If it is a gun and a blade, but not a gun that is a blade, because there is a difference. For tier 5, each one can have 3 properties. So one is the base thing, so, there's the gun, let's say ranged, then Gemini, and then it would have one other property. And then as the blade, it would be blade weapon, Gemini, one other property. I think.
Mm.
Mechanics is fiddly, but I think that's how it works.
That sounds right to me.
It sounds right.
See, I just want to try to make the whip sword more powerful now. The sword that can also turn into a whip.
Yeah. So I'm trying to remember how the tier 2 stuff. Okay.
I know exactly what I want to add.
Okay.
Yeah, I think I've got mine too.
Can you guys tell me what you're doing, because I am not sure what I want. Like, are you just making new weapons or just adding something onto?
I'm adding on to what I've already got.
Okay.
Yeah, so am I.
Because I know currently for like the other one I had, it's like Gemini, Reliable, and Reach.
Okay.
From
So
the tier 2. So.
I was just reading the example it gives, and so in the example it gives, I think this must apply to all weapons. We might have been doing this wrong the entire time. That's fine. In the example it gives of a tier 6 weapon, which can also only have 3 properties, it says that this example is a violin that becomes a bow. And as a violin, it has Spell Burst, +2 Perform, and Gemini, and it's an arcane weapon. But then as a bow, it has Gemini, Piercing, and Triple Critical. So, the tier 4 Gemini with 3 properties, you'd have Gemini and 2 other properties on each weapon.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah.
That's how it works.
And it sounds like the Gemini encompasses both basic properties of each of them. Okay.
Okay, so basically, the sword would have Gemini 2 other, whip would have Gemini 2 other.
Yeah. Or
is why
the other option, if you didn't, it's kind of the same, but also not. I believe if you're doing the tier 2 version of Gemini, it's very much like, okay, so then it is always both the sword and the whip. So you take Gemini, and then it has both, reach and blade at all times. So Gemini acts as both base properties. But then you only have 2 other things to play with. So it's whatever seems most appealing. Do you want a sword that is sometimes a whip, or a sword that is always a whip?
Sword that's sometimes a whip, so...
I think that's when you have to do the upgraded Gemini, right?
Yeah, the tier 4 Gemini.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay.
Rain, you said you think you know what you're doing with yours. What's happening with it?
I'm double checking on Gemini real quick. 2 equipment changes. Okay. So that, based on what I'm reading, it sounds like it happens automatically when it reaches tier 4.
Read.
As a tier 4 or better piece of equipment, the distinction changes.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
I think you are correct. I think that's it in a nutshell. Which, makes sense.
So basically, I have, because I already have. Okay, let me rephrase this. So it has the Gemini property, and it has the 2 different basic weapon properties. And mine does transform. I remember that now because I keep having the blade drop whenever I use it as a gun. So that means.
Yeah, isn't there like? Sorry.
Oh, okay.
So if I'm reading this right, you get 2 additional properties for each weapon type.
Correct. If your weapon has 3 properties, which a tier 5 weapon does.
Okay, so you get base plus 2 for each side of the weapon.
Yeah, pretty much.
Okay, so I only have 1. I have my blind touch.
Yeah, because reliable would be the other one.
Actually,
like, because blade.
I have 2. I have
Right?
distance and blind touch for ranged. Distance was a property I put down, wasn't it?
And that might be the weapon type.
Well, because I already have ranged put down. I don't know.
You just made stuff up.
Apparently.
I'm looking here and I'm not seeing anything that says.
Yeah, neither am I. I don't know. This is why I tend not to take notes, because I don't understand them when I do take them. Okay, so I'm just gonna get rid of distance. I don't know what the hell that means. So it has blind touch as 1 property, which means I need to come up with 3 more properties.
And then decide which one the gun has and which one the sword has.
Yeah. Well, the gun has blind touch. That one I know, because the whole idea is that I shoot it, and whatever I shoot is blinded.
Does reliable count as one of the properties, or is that just like?
That's a basic weapon property, I think.
Yeah, I think that sits inside the Gemini property.
Okay.
So, one thing which might be quite easy if you're writing it down is on the weapon property, if you put Gemini and then put in like brackets or parentheses, the property of the weapon type it is for that one, and then essentially treat it like you're making 2 weapons. And then so the sword, you write what you'd have for sword, except instead of where it would say reliable, you just put Gemini parentheses reliable. And then for the whip, you would put whatever it was, reach parentheses.
Reach.
Well, you put like Gemini parentheses critical attack, which is the effect of reach, isn't it? I think.
I think critical is the it's the you crit on 11 or 12, isn't it?
Yes.
And that's part of the that's part of the reach weapon.
Mechanics is crunchy, but
'Cause
I
that's-
think we're getting it.
Because I have that too. Yeah.
I know where distance is from.
Where?
It's the base property for ranged.
Oh my god, it is. Yeah, Bedoy. So yes, what that should have been is that should have been Gemini parentheses distance.
Yeah, I have it reliable Gemini distance so that I remember that reliable's blade and distance is ranged.
There you go.
Also, you said this is like tier 5 weapons?
Tier 5.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
We have found a grinding spot and we have abused it because this is how Bardic plays Final Fantasy games.
Okay,
So-
because I kind of want to make... I kind of wanted to get an elemental strike. And it's like because like holy or shadow weapons require tier 5 or better.
Mm-hmm. So you fully embracing the dark and going Shadow Strike, so every time you hit people it's shadowy.
Kinda. I'm kind of thinking of that.
If memory serves, doesn't a lot of your Dark Knight stuff essentially allow you to do that? So you could really... The other option would be to make it holy. So then you can do both holy and shadow damage with certain attacks. Which is kind of badass.
Yeah, that could be very, very thematic. Yeah, you know what? Gonna make it like holy strike then. For at least one of these. And
How's yours come along, Natch?
To be honest, I kind of paused for a second. I was like, this is really complicated now. I think I might just do this later.
You know what?
Um,
That's totally fair. If in fact we would prefer to do this later, because this is a whole bunch of stuff.
yeah.
We can do this like off stream, and then we just got it written down.
I mean, to be fair, I'm almost done.
Yeah, I feel like I'm gonna be here for a while, so maybe it would be best to do it off screen.
All right, so I'll
real quick, sorry. I know we've said this like 8 times now, but it's for each side of the weapon. It's Gemini's parenthesis basic thing,
Yes.
and then 2 other.
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
There we go. Don't worry. The fact that we're having to say it a lot means that we're all having to double check and make sure it's not like any of us are silly. It's it's a lot of not quite. It's information that makes sense, but you need to like drill it in there to make sure that it makes sense.
Right.
Mechanics is always a bit crunchy. All right, so what I might do is I might just give you a little bit of like not actual homework because it's not that much a big deal, but stuff to work on if you have the time is the tier 5 weapon, and then you know what? Let's upgrade armor as well. What tier armor does everybody have on currently? Like 2, maybe 3?
I have a tier 2.
I think I don't
was
even
just
know,
1.
honestly. Yeah,
Right,
I don't think
I didn't
Lilith's
know there
armor
were-
has
Yeah,
much
'cause-
range.
Because when we got those upgrades before, they took, I believe, weapons, and I took armor.
Mhm.
So, you know what?
Mm,
Let's really jump up then, and let's jump our armor up to tier 4. So that's
Okay.
something you can do.
Ooh, cool. Definitely
So-
know how to do that.
So my gunblade is slowly becoming legendary.
I believe that's the plan.
On the blade side, it's indestructible and has element enhancer for fire. And on the range side, it has MP refresh and blind touch. Which means that when I hit with it and deal normal damage, I get MP restored, and if I hit with it and take the half damage, I can blind things.
That's dangerous. Okay, so I was just looking. None of us can use shields, except maybe Reno, if they felt like it. Take a level in Paladin or something ridiculous. So we don't need to worry about shields. accessories. That's the thing. No. Let's take accessories up to... Well, let's also take accessories up to tier 4. So you can get that.
I wonder if I can like modify Lilith's masks.
Oh,
Just get
super easy. Yeah.
yeah. Like screw what Cecil did in 4 of becoming a paladin. Lilith is just gonna become more edgy.
Well, you're gonna become the Holy Dark Knight. You know, if Kane's allowed to become a Holy Dragoon, we can be a Holy Dark Knight.
Yeah.
So then the other thing, you know what? Yeah, let's just get a level up because we want to get more powerful. We want more cool stuff. So level up. I will 100% say that this whole interaction, being fueled with invigorated resolve to beat up Lilith's mom. I believe we can all get a point of destiny for that. And finally, the thing we're gonna cap off the session with is, I don't know how much time specifically you would like in the Fey March to train and improve and get this stuff. However long is malleable. It doesn't really need a quantifiable amount. However, what it does allow is it allows a physical character change in some way, shape, or form. So if we want an aesthetic change, if we want to grow our hair, cut our hair, change our hair, stop work, like whatever it is, we can have like a full character redesign if we so wish to signify where we are in our current leg of the journey. So does anybody wish to go first on what their character redesign is?
Hmm.
Oh my god.
Or is everyone now thinking way too hard about it? Like, oh gosh, this is a lot. I didn't think.
No,
This is
put a
definitely
picture on the
something that I'm
Discord.
actually going to need to think on.
You know what? Even
Yeah,
better. I think.
Oh no!
I think
That's
we can. Once again, I think this actually makes a great starting point for next time to be like, all right, so we're gonna do this, and it's gonna this happen, and then we'll come back and be like, all right, new character introduction. Look at me. I'm new. I'm improved. I have a greater understanding of my mental trauma.
This is bad though, because I had Natch working on on like a picture of Lilith.
Oh, great, now I'm going to have to change it. No, it's fine.
Oh.
It's cool. I
Okay.
haven't actually worked on it in a while because I've been depressed.
Yeah.
Reno is going to reveal a feature that Bardic and I talked about like months ago because she's going to cut her hair.
Oh. I can like try to think of like some sort of big like change for Lilith, and then just tell Natch like, hey,
It's fine. I'm going to start over anyway.
okay.
Also, Natch.
I'm
Oh.
sorry for giving so much work.
Well, that's fine. It's not like you're paying me for it.
The
Do you want to be paid for it?
No, I don't. Sorry. I didn't mean... Sorry. Let's talk about that later. No, I don't. But yes, continue.
Okay.
So I'm just looking at the picture of Auron. You've just put in the chat like, I'm very okay with this.
Yeah, I mean, let's be real. Malcolm's just kind of turned into Aaron, so... Yeah.
I mean, any excuse, because then you also get to carry the booze around with you, and it's part of a character design.
Yeah.
So I am basically to tie this. Malcolm is the Orin.
Oh
Hmm.
dear, oh dear. Okay, so we've got
That's why it's weird.
we've got, I'm not going to call it homework, but we have things that we can mull over and think about in preparation for next time. And then we can have big reveals. It's going to be fun. It's going to be good. It's going to be enjoyable. I'm excited. And with that, I believe we can wrap off the session there. Does anybody have any final thoughts on things?
One day we'll get to a university.
I tried real hard.
I saw that. I appreciate it.
I mean, the thing is, it is actually much sooner than you expect. I keep saying, maybe, but I do, in my pretend notes that I don't have, university is very rapidly coming up. It's why we're powering up and getting more things, and this is coming. I promise. It's gonna happen. It's gonna
The
be fun.
university is a construct.
Ooh.
I mean, you are not
Honestly,
incorrect.
I was thinking of having Lilith say some things that I feel like that would be. Sorry.
You don't need to be sorry. Have Lilith say things.
Yeah, but I don't know if it would be better for like post time skip or
Well,
not.
You know what? That just gives you 2 weeks to make notes and pull over these things and write them down to start off next time.
I've already figured out all of my items.
Alright, perfect. So, with that, we are going to wrap up. I have been and will continue to be the Bardic Knock. You can find me on Twitter, Twitch, Patreon, and YouTube, all as the Bardic Knock. When am I next streaming? It's Sunday, right? Yeah. So tomorrow night,
Yes.
I'll be back with more knockoff progression. So there's some Yu-Gi-Oh fun happening there. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then other things, or just other regular streams. Check. There should be a schedule somewhere. I vaguely keep to it. That's me. ATP. Who are you?
Hi, I am a tired bye. I have played Lilith today and it was great. You can find me randomly lurking on Bardic streams whenever I'm not overwhelmed and can actually watch streams. Or you can find me on every second Thursday over on the Undead Case channel for Curse of Strahd Barovian Days, where I play as Zatari, the ASMR Bard. I feel like I accidentally called her Lilith earlier today. But yeah. I don't really have much to say. Brain is currently hyper-focused on armor designs.
Hey, that's a good thing
I'm
to
sorry,
be.
Natch.
That's a good thing to be focused on. Natch, who are you?
Hi there. This is Natural One signing off for today's Final Fantasy D6 session. I'm playing Malcolm Stone, the red mage who, got a little bit tipsy and waxed philosophical for the entire session.
You provided Lilith with much-needed alcohol. And
that
I
was
simply forgot it.
That was Professor Chocobo. If Lilith touched Malcolm's alcohol, there would have been a problem and some hands thrown. But that's not where we're at. Alright, okay. Huh? Wait, dude.
I was...
Okay, sorry. No, I'm not getting distracted. Okay, no, finishing up. You can find me here and at some point soon on my own Twitch channel, because I've gonna be getting back to that soon, and then also on Twitter where I scream into the void about capitalism. So I will pass it back off to Reno Rain. Yeah.
Uncomfortable. I am Rain Hayes, and you can't find me anywhere else. I don't have any new products coming out anytime soon because the Meat Project needs more writing, and my other games are only half done. So yeah, you can find me here on whatever Sunday that we play, and That's pretty much it.
And with that, what time are we at? Because
It is. I have no idea because I live in a different time zone than you.
yeah, time is an illusion. So I was just gonna quickly check something because I think what we can go do is I think if a person I need to stop thinking. Thinking is dangerous, but I believe there is a person doing a stream, and if they are, we're gonna go throw them a raid to. Yeah, I see that they are. So yeah, we're gonna go throw a raid on over to Captain J Cross, who is in. I can't remember if they said this is the
yeah.
finale or it is part 3 of that Alan Wake stream. So we're gonna do / raid Captain J Cross. I can spell that. I did it all correct. Cool, wonderful. We're gonna do that, and until next time, everybody, stay safe and happy adventures. Bye bye.
Goodbye.